Okay, hello folks, and welcome back to the best of 3 series, which is Squared versus Endpoint, the name Sir Danny. I hope you guys have been enjoying the broadcast so far, as we do have a decider, an exciting decider if you will. So we're gonna be able to see which team will be able to come out on top here. I was thinking, Squared, great game in Overpass, looking pretty solid on the CD side of Mirage as well. And then they crumbled, and right about now, I think it's anyone's game. Percy's starting things off very well here for the Squared side. The Danish team already man up. Things couldn't be looking even better. Acor walking down towards Connector as well as Garage. Very nicely done. Now Syush has had a pretty quiet game in Mirage, but now he's gonna be able to kill Pulse, and that is still good enough. The bomb plant will come in here from Mighty Max and Robin. The great thing is, though, is that they do have a smoke. Acor. I was going to be anticipating for Mighty Max to throw the Molotov, but it may not be necessary. Hasta now. Oh no, Hasta missing a pretty crucial shot. Robin now in a position to actually obliterate Hasta. This was not supposed to happen. Tessus will kill Robin, and Mighty Max will drop from Tessus as well, and that will be the round here for Squared. Oh boy. Like, it's a great thing that Tess was able to step up when required. Because he had a golden opportunity, he had a perfect opportunity to actually kill both the players from brown holes and just end the round like that. But yeah, that was a bit too close there for, so to speak, Squared's comfort. Now the one thing I would love to see is actually Squared, after winning the pistol round, actually convert the pistol round victory to to consecutive round wins. It's something they weren't able to do so on the terrorist side. An Overpass, Mirage. This time around, I think it's going to be very possible, as the guys at Endpoint only have some of those upgraded pistols. Percy with the EMP, just shredding them apart, but still, Squared gets at least one kill. Looks like Squared will get all the kills apparently, as Endpoint was only able to kill Percy. It's still not too bad of an eco, as the eco didn't round. Yeah, I'd say it didn't matter too much here for Endpoint. All they needed was now the rifle investment. It does come through. Looks like Thomas will go for the Mac 10, as I do presume he wants to acquire some of that extra utility, which is very respectable. But they will be going up against Team Squared. It does have EMPs in their arsenal. They also have Acor and Scout. So honestly, even though one of the players has got a Mac 10, he can still do damage. And SMG versus SMG. Thomas comes out on top. Acor not the best position to be in, as he has been smoked off. Leslie though will be able to kill Hasta. Great white peek from him. And now Squared are getting absolutely shut down. Maybe Tess got something to say about it. Okay, Tess does have something to say about it. Tess definitely has got something to say about it. Gets a third kill in the round. And now Syush. Oh, this player had a somewhat significant game in Overpass. I wonder if he can actually transfer it to Train now. 1-on-2. The bombs drop close by him. But he's got an MP9. The best weapon in long-range combat. Honestly, they're going to have to screw up pretty big. Or actually, Syush just going to go for the straight-up jump in midair. I'd say that's a pretty good round for Endpoint. They were able to overwhelm the side pretty quickly. But their biggest problem was obviously Tess, who was playing right behind the bomb train, and he was doing a very good job at actually getting kills. He even got 3 kills in the round, where none of his teammates actually were able to get a single kill. So if someone from his team would have been able to step up, we might have been able to see Squared to come out with a round victory, but apparently not today. But it does look like another very fast round here from the guys at Endpoint. They're rushing down towards B-bomb side. Percy will win him his aim duel, and now a bomb plant should ensue here for Endpoint. The great thing is, Syush will get 1 kill. And just wait. He has to wait. He doesn't make the spot on Mighty Max. Good kill on Mighty Max. It's still a 2-1-5, in which, Laza will be able to get 1 kill for this position. Yeah, it hasn't been revealed. It's a pretty easy frag to acquire, and now Robin, at this point, I don't have a lot of hopes for him. Oh. Hello, just stick the defuse, please? Yes, there we go. Whew. Okay. It was kind of scary, it was definitely scary for Percy, because he's the only player who does have the defuse kit, and he's only on 20 points of health, so surely Robin, if he's quick enough and say Acor misses the shot, with the 8 OP, then yeah, Robin could have easily killed Percy in that scenario. But yes, he does save the M4 in the end, and the great thing is on the T side is that if you're able to save your rifle after the bomb has been planted, you will receive the lose money bonus as well as the bomb plant bonus. So that's obviously great for a player like Robin, who was now able to, after his M4 that he kept, was now able to invest into an AK-47. It is a force buy here from Endpoint nonetheless. The fast-paced rounds have been working out for them substantially pretty well. So I don't really see a reason why they shouldn't go for a faster execute this time around as well on the B bomb site. The push will happen. Doesn't look like any counter utility has been deployed. Acre will get rid of Robin pretty quickly down from the old train. But it does look like the bomb will go down yet again here, guys. And smokes Percy. What is that? How does he get the kill on the pulse? I've got no idea. But it's a kill nonetheless. And of course, if you're squared, you will continue on with the push here. You will try to retake the bomb site, and that bomb site retake is looking very solid. All up to Mighty Max. His head has been spotted out. 4-1 now in favor of Squared. As you can't really blame the Endpoint players. Like, primarily, your main goal, if you're pushing the B bomb site, is once you've planted the bomb, not just to stick around somewhere close by the bomb site, but just continue on pushing through the sort of train tracks. That is their pretty much main goal, to put your players into sort of off-angle positions where they can still cut off any players rotating to the bomb side. That is your main goal. And it was still very possible. It still looked pretty decent there from Endpoint. I guess one of the biggest problems is that Percy comes in, gets one kill, and then suddenly the defense softens up quite a bit. Acre is able to kill one guy as well. And I think it's only down to 2 players who were in the upper area. They didn't make things any easier here for Endpoint. But now the pistols, and if anything, Endpoint have proven that they're quite good on the pistols, especially Robin with the CZ. Like he's been hitting some crazy shots and great lineups as well. Taking it slow, pretty slow if you ask me. And I do like the fact that Squared are more or less respecting their opponents, that they're the ones playing pretty passively as well, not giving away too much though. Gotta be careful though. Hostile, you're my hero lonesome, no one's really covering you, so he's not gonna be taking the fight. He shouldn't be taking the fight anymore. Just give away Ivy control. They're already on pretty low HP with 30 seconds left on the clock. Endpoint might still have themselves a chance here. Testo. Get the one. Endpoint though. Oh no, this is bad. Acor will actually drop the bomb carrier, so that's Mighty Max now being dropped. Plus though will be able to kill Acor. Now it's all up to Percy, the stand-in. 16 seconds. Not a lot of HP to work with here for Percy. But 2 bullets. Laza's a dead man. He has to go for the bomb plane. He's actually gonna try to stake it. Percy though, not gonna go for the fight as of yet. Flash coming in. Smoke grenade deployed from Laza. Now his position could be anywhere at this point. Like that's the scary thing. Percy though. Oh, is he gonna spot him? Oh, yes he does. Spots him out just a little bit. And that is enough to get a kill. A very close round. Another very close round here for Square, but they do come out on top, and that's what matters. That's, you know, again, I just want to come back to the point where I said, you know, I see Endpoint on pistols, and these guys have been, like, I honestly don't know the sort of statistic for this best of 3, but if you, someone would take their time and take a look at HO2.org, you're probably going to see Endpoint just winning, I don't know, like maybe 3 rounds on the back of just ecos, like these sort of full-on ecos even, with the, oh no, they actually, no, pardon me. The full-on eco they did have with the Glocks, they didn't win it though. Yeah, they didn't win that one. But some of the other rounds though, they've been able to have so much success with these pistols. And that's obviously great as well. Because right now, Squared, even though they have been winning these rounds, 3 rounds in a row have been won by Squared, they simply don't have a lot of economy to boot. And Right about now, Percy's position has been revealed. Not quite sure what's going on there, but Acor, oh actually no, Hasta is going to get dropped dead. Mighty Max and Co. entering the side, planting the bomb as well. And probably they will try to go for the retake here. I don't see reasoning why they shouldn't try. Oh, Acor, that's a pretty crucial kill to get. Sush now. Only coming out from the ladder. Maybe they should wait just a little bit. Acor though. Firing off the shot, Thomas up close and personal. Now Sush with only 8 points of health. It's not looking too great, but he kills one player. He knows the approximate positioning of Thomas, so it's somewhat doable, but yeah, the white peak. Thomas gonna win that one every single day of the week. He's gonna come out on top in that duel as well. 5-2 now, still very much in favor of Squared, but they've done a pretty good thing here at Endpoint. They've broken the economy of Squared, and looks like it will be a force buy. Okay. They will invest into the rifles. Tess will purchase the scout, and the rest of the guys will just stick with the CZ. So it's still not a very bad investment, all things considering. Hasta with the CZ. Oh, he's gonna get up close, but Laza will be ready for it. And already, I think that's Tess with the scout. He actually tags Robin, which still isn't too bad. But him not having any armor, you know, even a single nade, minus 44 points of health, he's gotta be quite careful there. Percy's got the unconventional angle here. Not gonna be seeing any players coming his way as of yet. There is one on top of him, but I don't think he's gonna be peeking just yet. Percy's is holding it one. He's gonna have a lot of patience right there. He needs to have a lot of patience holding down ladder room, and must be very cautious on his approach. Molotov thrown out. Percy will he go up the ladder? No, he will actually try to back away. I think that's the smart play he should have done there. Really doesn't make a lot of sense to be fighting from the ladder. You're gonna be in a disadvantage one way or the other. And with 30 seconds on the clock, it does look like Endpoint will try to hit this B bomb site. And the great thing is for Squared, all of their players are here. Oh no, Percy! He's in such a prime position right now. Goes up right next to Buzz. Gets one, gets two, gets three, and no, he gets two. That will be enough. That will be enough for Percy. Perfect timing for him. If he has the perfect timing, they actually climb up the ladder. 15 seconds on the clock. There's not a single player looking towards the flank near Endpoint. And it hurts them so bad. That's the round they were in contention, definitely. But after Percy's flank, there's nothing they could have done. Like, the stand-in is doing a very good job, Percy from Sprout. Some of you may or may not know. Playing instead of player Basso. Like a force spray will be had here from the guys at Endpoint. Some of those upgraded pistols do come out, armors as well. Has to be expected. Acor will obliterate Laza, one of the players who has been putting in the numbers. Oh man. I just open up the scoreboard where Robin get an absolute disgusting kill on Hasta. A wallbang as well, as you might have seen on the kill feed. What? Pardon me about that. Anyhow, if you're an Endpoint fan and you see Endpoint on pistols, you shouldn't be too surprised if you might actually find some success here. Already a pretty decent trade right there. A 3-on-3, whilst Endpoint are still trying to enter the A bomb side. It's not looking too shabby for them. Flash will rain in. Mighty Max will try to go for the peek in. The majority of the players from Squared are here. Mighty Max will win the fight against Acor. And now Percy with the UMP. Gotta be quite careful. Gonna try to minimize the distance as possible. And down to a one-on-one. Siush versus Mighty Max. And Siush is gonna win it. It was, I'd say, a pretty close call there in the end. Again, this is a time where Endpoint only on the pistols. And yet they make such a huge dent on the Squared economy. Like, this is, I don't know, maybe I don't know, maybe 7th time or something ridiculous like that happening in the best of 3. it's insane how much success Endpoint has been able to have with those pistols. Only the pistols. The gun rounds not as successful as say the rounds where they only on pistols. A quick rush here. Mighty Max will get the kill on Percy, but looks like Tess, Akor all timing in with kills. And this has got to be one of the few clean rounds on an eco where Squared has been able to come out on top. Looking pretty good for the Danish team. As they do have 8 rounds here on the CD side. Endpoint haven't been able to find much success. In fact, I think they have only one. Yeah, 2 gun rounds have been won. Still isn't too bad. But as the second half is coming to a close, it's about time they acquire at least a couple more here at the Terrorist Island train. Oh, what is that? Haste going in for the push. Mighty Max, though, will be able to back away, but his teammate Haste, Squared, one of the guys, I think that's Percy's teammate. Is that Percy and Ivy? Yeah, it's Percy and Ivy. It does look like he's gonna be able to pack away from there, but Akor will still get one of the kills here. Test as well, timing in. So the Ivy push wasn't of great success, but because of that push, all the players can rotate in very quickly. Percy will get Thomas, the bomb plant will come in. But yeah, it's not looking too great here. Akor has got a pretty good angle, and now Robin. Where on earth is Robin? Well, he is down towards Electric. Not a very good spot to be in, especially when they know his positioning. Haste will get the kill. And it will be 9 rounds here for Squared. Yeah, defuse as well. And the Endpoint. One of the things that honestly has been lacking here for Endpoint, at least something that I'd like to see, maybe just take a timeout. I don't think I've seen a single timeout actually being taken by the Endpoint boys. I've seen Squared use one on Mirage, if I recall correctly, but I haven't seen one from Endpoint throughout the entirety of this. This being the decided train is obviously much more so important. In fact, it's as if you're playing one best of one to come out on top here in the sort of decider game. Well, it appears that Endpoint might just go back to basics. A quick rush on the B side seems to be their name of the game. Siush will drop dead, but Akor with the AWP again being quite the menace for his team. Smoke running in. Haste though, wow, Haste has gone for the big flank. Thing is though, Robin is close by. And Robin, will he anticipate a player to be there? Looks like he will. Robin, great game sense. Anticipating a flank to happen, and he will obliterate Haste. This will make things very difficult right now for Squared, especially Thomas getting those 2 kills. Percy, the stand-in, will also get ripped to shreds by Pulse. So at the very least, Endpoint has got themselves the 3rd round here on Train. And even better so, they've more or less made the economical situation for Squared, I wouldn't say reset. And it is. Now the money has been reset. In a world where Squared don't end up winning this round, they're gonna have to go for a full-on... What is this? Oh, okay, he does have the deagle. Okay, the Panorama UI. So it's got some bugs. I don't know. It does look very clean as a user interface, but it's still quite buggy to be used in the sort of GoTV play. Anyway, we are seeing a very fast push here from Endpoint. Yet again, they're finding some success entering the site, and they're going to be able to keep it as well because 3 players are already hitting the dirt. And Tess with alongside Akor. They're not going to be having these tasks here. Tess will probably just go for the save here. I think that's the obvious choice at this point. Go for the save here. And his team will probably have to go for a full-on eco the next round. But at the very least, on the last round, they will have a somewhat of an investment. But yeah, right now I think a full-on eco would make a lot of sense. Will they actually do it? Yeah, it does look like it, so. Because right now they will have lost. If they end up losing this round, they will get the bonus of $2,400. So because they pretty much got all around players have got around $2,000. So yeah, they're gonna be able to invest in the rifles. Some utility will also come through. And the B push again it is, but Haste's Hasta's in a pretty good position. If they don't check him, Hasta will get 1 kill, can go for more, but Pulse will come out on top. But still, Percy has at least retrieved an AK-47, and honestly, if you're Percy, just save the gun. Your team can use every single advantage they could have in the upcoming last round of the half, so definitely an AK-47 should be saved, and it should be of top priority. And yes, Percy will save the AK-47. Like I said, it's the obvious choice to make here, especially once your team doesn't have a lot of money. And at least one of the players will be able to have... He could actually consider dropping one of his teammates. Maybe Akor could actually be dropped, but I just think Percy will just... Yeah, he will just invest... Oh no, he will drop his teammate. Okay, that's pretty good. So at least one of the guys will be able to have more utility because, you know, he has got a gun drop for him. Meaning they will also have it in the defuse kit. So yeah, that's great. The fact that they were able to save the AK-47 means that Akor is going to be the player with the most amount of utility and also the defuse kit on his side. But still, if you're Endpoint, 5 rounds isn't too bad here on train, but you'd love to see them get the 6th one. And if they get the 6th one, I guess we could call it a somewhat decent T-side. Thomas, though, waits for the smokes to fade, and Percy is right in front of him. I'm not quite sure what Percy was thinking. Honestly, he heard the player jumping down, and just walking out with the smoke like that is not the best choice. Robin, though, finding some success at killing Hasta, and again, they have very quick bombs to control, and now completely unopposed, it seems like Endpoint just absolutely decimate their opponents. They're gonna get the 6th round, and they definitely deserve it. They definitely deserve getting the 6th round. Huge. I don't know, maybe something impressive, but nothing too much. 9-6 here, still in favor of Squared, but at least at the very end, Endpoint started to get some consecutive rounds, some momentum, if you will. And you know what? Maybe some of that momentum would actually transfer on the CD side, and if so, that's the thing. Endpoint, they've been scary on their CD side. Like, once they get on that CD side, and they've got at least a couple rounds on the T side to boot, like, I don't know if the Square are going to be able to have that much of an easy game as I might have hoped for. On train, that is. Well, let's see. The pistol round shall commence of our very last map here of the best of the 3. The second half is upon us, as Endpoint will be playing on that CD side, arguably the more favored side, and the one that, well, Endpoint has been able to put up the majority of the rounds. So honestly, I would love to see what they can actually pull off here. Squared have invested in a decent amount of utility, all things considering. For a pistol round, they do have the smoke grenade that's been thrown out on the B-bomb site, but it does look like it will be an elaborate fake Akor will be the one pushing through. They've actually shown the bomb as well. The rotation will be happening here from Endpoint. However, the bomb site is making its way on the A site, so the fake more or less successful here for Square, but they still got to get rid of not only the connector player, but there's one Pulse. Sandwich from Sandwich. He's now pushing his way into the site to kill one, but Sush gets rid of him quickly, and now it's all up to Sush. 1 on 3. It is somewhat doable, but Thomas, yeah, Thomas got the read. Thomas got the read. He will kill Sush, and that will be the round here for Endpoint. Meaning that Squared may not have the closure we might anticipate for. But a bomb plant it is. Meaning that Squared will have a bit more money into this upcoming round, and possibly will just go for a full-on eco. Yeah, just go for a full-on eco in this round and just go for the investment on the 18th round. Let's see, you will have the AK-47s. But right about now, if you're Squared, just don't really expect too much from them. Yeah, traffic lights coming out. Maybe Pulse could actually get caught up in the crossfire, but he will survive that engagement as Robin is there to help him out. Oh, okay, actually bunny hops into the side. He will be able to plant the bomb. That's actually very good for Squared. Why not? A bomb plant will come in, a second bomb plant if you will. And this does mean they will have a bit more extra money coming into this 18th round. And right now, the investment will be looking solid. Like, they can invest in an AWP if Akor wishes to. All of their players will have full utility on the back of them going for the full-on eco and 2 bomb plants. Great stuff for them. Lazy going very up close there towards main, and Akor will be able to punish Pulse. So the aggressiveness from Endpoint hasn't really worked out for them. I do understand why they try to go for it. I mean, they only have the SMG, so why the heck not? I mean, you do have a possibility to maybe punish some of those players who might be playing closer towards main. It wasn't a bad idea, and you know, the fact that some of the players just didn't reinvest in the upgraded rifles means that they're not too afraid to actually lose a round like this, because they realize that, you know, some of the other guys might just go for a save, and then the upcoming round, then they know they will be up against rifles, and they themselves will have rifles. So for Endpoint, really just actually maybe try to go for the save, but the fact that they get that kill, they might even consider going for the retake, but they don't have a lot of time. Like, they gotta make up their minds here. Endpoint, what do they want to do? And the thing is, though, because they took so much time to actually make up what they want to do, now it's only Thomas with the rifle, and, well, the good thing for them is that they can still invest. That's not that big of an issue. They could have had a much greater investment Endpoint. So the fast play, well, not necessarily the fast play, but very great bomb site take there from Squared, giving Endpoint a bit of a taste of their own medicine. I'm just quite curious to see, you know, Endpoint, they've been able to overwhelm Squared very quickly by, like I said, by their quick pushes. My question is, can Squared actually do the same here for Endpoint? And will Endpoint be vulnerable for such an attack? Yeah, that's quite a good question. Testo sneaking through. No one's looking towards main. That's a huge mistake here for Endpoint. They have 4 players on the A bomb site. They're not taking cautious on one important part of the map. Pulse, though, will get dropped. It is still 2-2. It's not too bad here for the guys at Squared. But the one thing we gotta note, the bomb. The bomb is still in T-spawn. They must take their sweet time to recover it. Meanwhile, Endpoint will now have 2 players on this bomb site, and Mighty Max will get rid of Percy. That's a pretty big mistake here for Squared. Now it's all up to Siush. So maybe Siush can actually get something done here. Good thing for Siush is that no one's really watching B. Like, if you take a look at POV of Siush, he's gonna plant the bomb. No one's really covering this part of the map, and he's got a perfect opportunity to take a more aggressive stance in this whole case. Mighty Max moving through. Gonna check the oil tanker. He's gonna win the fight against Siush. Yeah, that's a bit of a shame that Squared weren't able to convert a round where they did have a good start. They did have a very good start into the round, but I think one of the bigger problems for them was that they've actually left the bomb in T-spawn. If they just have the bomb in that 2-on-2, simple, you know. They plant the bomb, they will leave one of the players on the bomb site, but it still leaves one of the teammates in a somewhat doable 1-on-2. That would have been much greater. But right now, a pause has been taken, I presume from Squared. Because they want to discuss how they want to approach this upcoming round. And possibly the half itself. Because there's really not a lot of rounds remaining to actually see the victor of the best of 3. So these next rounds are so important for either side. I'm just quite interesting. I'm quite intrigued to see who will have the better of it. was hearing some of that ticking in the chat, so I presume we're seeing some sort of discussion between the teams. That's what I'm guessing. But yeah, I'm not able to see the chat as much as you guys, the viewers, aren't able to see the chat, what the players are talking about. I'm just overall quite intrigued to see what can actually Squared pull out of the hat. Because a similar case like an Endpoint, you know, Squared had a solid city side on all 3 maps. They had a solid city side. It's where on the T side this kind of started to crumble. To some extent, you can actually put it on the stand-in. They do have a stand-in in the form of Percy, so he may not just be able to fit in the role of Basso, which can be understandable. But at the same time, if say Percy is going to be the second man entering the bomb site, I mean, you shouldn't be having too much pressure on him, really. So even having a stand-in shouldn't be, you know, the biggest of problems, even for a team like Squared. And the pause has been lifted, folks. So we're going to be able to see what can Squared actually pull off here. Maybe not in this round. This round, I presume it's just going to have to be an eco. I can't expect too much from these guys. But the next round, that's where we will see them actually have a proper investment. No, I think Mighty Max already heard the footsteps there. And I think because of it, yeah, he's the one that walks out. The guys at Endpoint anticipating these guys to actually run back all the way from the B bombs and back towards A, and they're actually not mistaking. That's kind of something they were anticipating to do. It let's actually hit Hasta. Oh jeez, nice shots from him, and Hasta, boom, there we go. B-hopping his way out of Lover and also planted the bomb. That's what Squared needed. They wanted to get a bomb plant. Boom, bomb plant it is. There you go. And so with the bomb plant in mind, they will have a somewhat good investment on this 21st round. It's going to be 10 to 10, where Endpoint will now have won, I think, 4 rounds? Yes, 4 rounds here on the CD side. To Squared's only 1. Well, let's see what these guys can come up with. Squared back again. We're seeing Acorn on the sniper rifle, and you know, this guy's been doing a pretty good job, whether it be on the terrorist side or the city side. You know, Acorn has been doing a very good job as an operator, opening things up here for the Squared team. Acorn, quick scope onto Mighty Max, another frag to his name, and there we go. Look at this fast pace from Squared. They're pretty much giving Endpoint a taste of their own medicine, where they're going for the sort of fast plays and overwhelming the bomb sites. This time around, it's a B bomb site, and Endpoint just hasn't been able to respond. Does look like the players are trying to save their guns, but look at this. They already have a player lurking in yard. That's Tess. Look at Tess go. Just ripping off heads left and right. And now Hasta, if he gets rid of Thomas, that's a huge scalp to get. If he gets rid of Thomas, Endpoint will then make a full-on investment. It's going to be a full buy here from Endpoint, but if they end up losing this round, that is where they might have to go for Nico. And that's obviously great for Squared. Let's see, it's going to be a fast round. It looks like it's going to be pretty much the exact same setup we did previously, except this time around, Tess will find some success towards the art, and so will Mighty Max. He will not be overwhelmed that quickly, and that's crucial. You know, that's crucial at Endpoint. Mighty Max is able to get 2. Rob is able to get him with a couple kills of his own, but now it's all up to Acor. 1-on-2 now. Oh, he's gonna win the fight against Lawson. That's so huge. Acor can now make this one very doable for him and his team. The bomb plant will commence. He has no idea where Mighty Max can come from. Goes for the jump up. Doesn't see Mighty Max. But where shall he position himself? Mighty Max, he actually looks towards him and he's gonna get it. Acorn, nice clutch from him. He goes in up and above to actually kill Mighty Max. And he does put his team another round on the board. Nicely done by Square. Nicely done by Acor. And of course, Endpoint. It must be an eco for them. They must go for an eco. There's no other way of playing it. But again, it's Endpoint. They're in pistols, and as they have said beforehand, I will say it again, like this team, even on the basic of pistols, they're quite the scary team to play against. So if you're a Square, just please be careful. I don't want to be seeing them throwing away another eco round. Acor will get the flick onto Thomas. I guess you could call it a bit of a slow flick, but Thomas will still hit the dirt, and Acor will try to go for more. He will get a second one. Tess is there to help him out. And overall, this round isn't looking too bad here for Square. It's looking pretty clean. Pretty clean indeed. Luz, no, they still dropped one player, but Laza, 15 points for him. That's the end of Laza. 13-10 here for Square. The Danish team will, so far, rating superior on Train. They got themselves a 3-round lead, and now they're going up against Endpoint, who have made the investment. The biggest problem for them is that they don't have a single defuse kit on their side. The fact that they don't have a Kevlar helmet, I mean, that doesn't bother me too much as they're going up against AK-47s. But because they don't have defuse kits, you know, retakes will be very difficult. Oh, Robin, that was a very good Molotov, and Flash to actually block off his vision. As well as he's not able to do anything. Pulse, though, that's an easy kill for him, and Pulse can go for more, but now Laza on the bomb site. They know that the bomb has been dropped here, Endpoint, and it will be recovered by Square. That doesn't make things any easier. Has the soul and HP. The nade won't finish him. It is very close on doing so. Mighty Max. Shit, starting to anticipate a player to actually come out of green. Train. Perfect Flash. Jeez. That's some great utility usage now from Squared, and now it's all up to Acor. You saw him win a clutch again, and I wouldn't be too surprised to see him coming on top yet again. He's gonna make the smart move, though. He's gonna actually move towards the B bomb site. Maybe find some success there, but Endpoint as well, playing this one smart. Instead of giving individual aim duels for a guy like Acor, this time around they're gonna be sticking through, and once they realize the bomb will be planted on B, that is where together they shall make their way towards the bomb site and try to retake. 25 kills, really? Wow, 26 kills for Acor. That's insane. About to reach the 30 bomb. If you can hit the shot, though, that's a bit of a shame. And now, yeah, that's again, that's a bit problematic for the guys at Endpoint. They don't have a defuse kit, but yeah, the positioning. It's not too great. Let's try to jump down. He actually hits Thomas, but he actually only hits the leg. Oh no, that sucks for Acor. He could have had that. He could have had that. He knows the frustration. He actually hits the leg and he believes Thomas, but only a couple points of L remaining. So at least Endpoint are able to win that one. It was no easy task, but it is a victory nonetheless for Endpoint. Oh, this is good to see. Less on the sniper rifle. Something that was quite lacking, I'd say, on the terror side of Train. They didn't have a lot of opportunities where Leza could be the one holding the sniper rifle. He has had his moments. Right now he's got, as it says, yeah, 16 kills for him. Not the highest fragger, but still up there with his team. Pretty much every single player is putting in his weight here for Endpoint, so it's still not too bad. And at this point in particular, still anyone. Ooh, not a very good timing there for Hasta. Does look towards Thomas, but still thinks he doesn't see the player. Moves his posture towards the right. Acor is there to help him out. Acor and Tez, great duo right now, as they're able to clear off Ivy. And if they do, Wirso continue on with the push. But he must be cautious. Running through the smoke? No, shifting through the smoke, more like it. Robin still hasn't revealed his position, still holding things down. Could actually kill Percy there. He's still quite a big of a nuisance here for Squared players, but he doesn't get the timing right. Syush will kill Robin, and now Tess can have all the connector control he needs. And with the smoke and Molotov being thrown out, I think Endpoint might even go for the save here. I think that's the obvious choice to make. go for the save here and still have a somewhat decent investment, but right now that's the problem. Mighty Max is one. Laza has revealed his position. Shoosh, pulling out the ESP. Laza will come out on top. Honestly, if you're square, just try to kill the guy. If you're able to kill Laza, the investment from Endpoint, it might even not happen. They might even have to go for an eco, a double eco at that. So now it's very crucial to get the kill, but Laza will get rid of Tess. And ooh, yeah, honestly, if you're Laza, it does. Jesus. Oh, I was quite scared he might actually not jump on the ledge there. But Laza does the right thing. Now a pause has been taken. If anything, something tells me the pause is probably from Endpoint. It's about time. It is about time. They take a pause and discuss things. This is a very crucial round as well, because the team does have a lot of money, and they could go for double eco and then make the investment, which will include them having rifles, or they could really pretty much rely on the AWP that they have in the hands of Laza, and the rest of the guys will just try to go for a force as well. Wait, okay, they haven't made a purchase. Even though on the right side it does say that Mighty Max has made a purchase of 4,800 US dollars, I can guarantee you that is fake. Whew, let's see. The guys here from Endpoint have decided to go for the force buy here. I honestly can't really blame him too much because, I mean, it's two decisions they can make. Like I said, it's either full on eco or the force buy here, and if they end up losing this one, another force buy. So it's a very hard decision to be making. It really comes down to confidence. How's your team feeling? And the thing is, like, these guys have been doing very well in pistols. So don't blame them too much actually trying to go for this force buy here. And now squared. Running into a bomb site with their 3 players with pistols already. Mighty Max and Laza getting a kill. This is not looking too great here for the guys at squared. Does he have dropped 2 players already? That's the thing. No, Laza gets another kill. Now this becomes very hard for squared. And as this is... yeah, they're probably getting PTSD at this point. This has happened so many times before. The force buy, the fast play from Squared gets absolutely shut down. This might be the end here for Squared, as they do end up losing a pretty horrific round. 14-12 it is, and the pause again comes out. That's a lot of pause now being used. A lot of pauses indeed. So now Squared. That's the thing. Now Squared are gonna have to make the difficult decision. Like, did they actually even consider going for the force buy here? I really don't think so. If you're Squared, just probably consider going for a full-on eco here, because the biggest problem is that an individual like Tess can't really afford a gun. But if the rest of the guys will go for a full-on eco, then we're gonna be able to see them have not only rifles but the utility as well to boot, and maybe an AWP could actually come out for ACOR. So honestly, this shouldn't be too much of a hard decision to make for Squared. The one thing I think they're making the decision on is obviously the upcoming rounds after the eco, because as the game is coming to a close, you know, these last rounds are going to be oh so important. Whew. Alright, let's see. The guys that squared, yeah, like I said, they probably made the right choice here by just going for Nico here. Give it another round here for Endpoint. Make it 14-13, but then once you have the gun round, like you win one of them, on the second one, even more so, you still have got yourself a very good chance at actually winning the best of 3. A very good chance at winning the best of 3. Double ops though for Endpoint, that's something we didn't really get to see, I don't think, in any of the previous maps, to be honest. I think this is one of the fewer instances we get to see a double op setup come out on Luzza. That's the thing. They put a sniper rifle in this man's hands, and he's been doing a substantial good job just killing his opponents. Luzza trying to go for more, but yeah, this round is pretty much over for Squared. They haven't accomplished much. One player to look out for, I think that's Percy. Yeah, that's Percy on the bomb site. And I think Mighty Max actually heard him jump down. Yeah, Mighty Max kills Percy. And I think it's going to anticipate Acre to be somewhere close by, but yeah, this round is over for Square. There's nothing Acre could do at this point. Maybe a kill or two, but even so, it's pretty questionable. 14-13. Now we're going to be seeing Square put a proper investment. Let's see, the investment is here from Square. Endpoint. At the double op setup, we didn't really get to see too much of Pulse actually handling the sniper rifle towards B, but look at this aggression coming out of this Endpoint. They're putting a lot of emphasis at this Ivy push, but it doesn't appear that Endpoint will find a lot of success from said push. Instead, we are seeing some of the Square players already in the outer yard area. I don't think they haven't challenged as of yet. Acre though with the sniper rifle, his barrel is very much visible. Acre is going to win the fight against Thomas. Pulse still got the sniper rifle. Pulse is doing a pretty good job. He gets a second kill. Finally, Acre gets rid of Pulse. And this is still a somewhat doable round here for the guys at Endpoint. As a player like Percy happens something else so bad. Oh no, Acre actually killed Robin. I think now Acre has got his 30 bomb in the game. And now it's all up to Mighty Max, and Mighty Max is coming out of main T-Con. So he still might find some success here. Percy, not looking towards him, but I do think, yes, Siush has spotted him out. And Percy's holding the off angle, but Mighty Max will get one. That will be 15-13. The guys here at Squared, very nice shots coming out of Acorn. Like, he's been having a stellar, overall, it's a somewhat stellar a game throughout this sort of best of 3. But here on Train, he's shining the most. Yeah, an investment coming out of Endpoint, where Luzza's got the AWP, Pulse has got the AWP, a couple of guys the SMGs, and Mighty Max on the M4. And wow, look at this Square. They're not even slowing down at all. Pulse, Luzza, Robin. All the kills going in Endpoint. Now it's all up to Acre. I've got no idea how he wins this one. Like, it's going to be quite the difficult clutch here for Acre. He's pretty much blinded, and he's not going to get it done. 15-14 here, Endpoint. He's still with around to their name, and honestly, the fast play hasn't really worked out here for Square. Now has it? I wonder what's going to be next. Maybe we could actually still see. Oh, a pause. Okay, that's what we're going to be seeing. A pause now from Squared. Alrighty, I guess that's also. Oh no. That's probably a technical issue, but it's because one of the Endpoint players has just disconnected, so let's hope this issue gets fixed as soon as possible. We can actually get the best of 3 finished, finally. Well, it does look like Mighty Max is back. That's great to see. That does mean that we're still gonna what are we gonna be seeing? Squared. Yes, we're gonna be seeing the Squared in a very I guess we call it lackluster investment. Like, they're obviously gonna be going for investment. This is the last round of the game. well, possibly the last round of the game, and you want to be having as best of an investment as possible. But the thing is, though, the best investment that's possible for them is just the upgraded pistols, an AK-47 in the hands of Tess, and that's it. It's not a lot to work with. Alright, let's see what's going on here. Can I actually find any sort of success here squared? Love to see it happen. Yeah, that'd be quite the round to win here for the guys at squared. Well, smoke's pouring over the B bomb, so you might find some success. However, Mighty Max is playing quite aggressive. He's pushing up there, but Sush will get rid of him. Pulls down out with the AWP, wrecking havoc here. He will get 2 kills, and that is still good enough, I'd say. The bomb plant will commence. I don't think the nade, though. Okay, the nade does some damage. There's another one on the Haste. And right now, Haste pushing through the smoke, will able to get one. It's still not too bad, I must admit. Now Sush there from lower ramp will get another kill. We're down to a 2-on-2, but the square players, they're so low in HP. Single bullet from the AK-47 can get rid of them very easily. There's Robin. He's actually looking up there towards heaven. And Robin, okay, looks like he's going to get both of them. So we are going to be heading over to overtime to actually see the decider of the best of 3. And it looks like it's not going the distance. So, because we are going to be getting the distance, must really be, wondering who's going to be the one favorite in all of this. I honestly wouldn't be, I don't think a lot of you guys would be too surprised to say it's probably going to be Endpoint. They're obviously going to be quite happy with the fact that they've been able to climb back in this best of 3. From being down on the first map, now winning the second map, and now being very close to actually coming out on top here on the third map. I think they're going to be quite happy. I think they're going to be quite happy with their results so far. And that might just be a momentum boost overall for them in the overtime. Endpoint, yeah, they're pretty much back yet again on the double up setup. I honestly don't see why not. I mean, it's been working out perfectly for them so far. One of the players, Tess, has been quite the nuisance so far, but now he's gonna get shut down in the yard area. There's quite a lot of players towards Ivy, but it doesn't look like they're gonna be able to get anything done, anything soon, really, because of the smoke blocking the vision. But now they're actually moving up little by little. Pulse is actually looking towards T-Con, and Luzza is looking towards Ivy. So these are some powerful positions the sniper rifle players are looking towards. And something tells me Squared are not going to be having an easy time here. No. Acre, though, is actually thinking maybe just pushing through the smoke, trying to get a kill. I don't know. I don't think that's the smartest of things to do. But now Luzza throws a pop flash of his own. Wasn't able to blind anyone, but Luzza will get the kill on Siush. And now, Percy and Acre, the last two surviving players here for Squared. Percy does made up the shot of the AWP, but I mean, only 4 points of fell for him. Oops, there we go. Thomas obliterates Percy. That will be 16-15, Endpoint. A couple more rounds for them, or to be exact, 3 rounds for them. And they will be victorious here in the best of 3. But the thing is, though, you gotta get those 3 rounds. And on the CD side, I wouldn't be too surprised if we could even see a 3-0 lead for Endpoint. It's just that on the T side, I've got no idea how these guys are gonna perform. The T side, is the biggest question mark for me. Even if Squared won't get a single round here on the T side, I still got pretty high hopes for them on the City side. Leather goes into the peak. The kill though. That is pretty odd. It looked like he had his crosshair dead on the player. But so far, still not too bad. You know, it's a 3-on-3 trade. Thomas pushing through the smoke. Doesn't really have to. Just wait for the smoke to fade, and he gets the timing well, and he gets the second kill as well. That's good. That's some good stuff from the guys at Endpoint. But now Acor has been substantially the best player in the servers so far here for Squared. And he has pulled off a 1-on-3 clutch before. So wouldn't be too surprised to see this guy succeed yet again. But we must wait and see. Acor walking on through. Has got a lot of time to work with here, so that's a great thing for Acor. But the biggest problem for him, he's got no idea about the positioning of the CT players, meaning he has to check quite a lot of angles. And nope, there we go. They spot him out. They know where he's stationed at, and that will be the 17th round for Endpoint. As the game has announced, this is the last round of the half here for Endpoint as well as for Squared. So far, Endpoint with a 2-0 lead here on overtime. Possibly going to be a 3-0 lead. Look at that Squared. They've got the rifles invested, but not a lot of utility. Some of the players only on the Eagles. It's not looking too great here. Mighty Max probably deployed the nade. It may not be necessary though. I think he realizes what's going on. It's going to be a fast play on the B-bomb side. Pulse will get rid of Percy. Now Sush going up close. He will get Mighty Max. Bomb plant should commence, but I think the nade will be quicker. And oh, okay, the bomb plant will still happen, so it's still not too bad here for Squared. But it is a 4-on-2, and Tess and Acor will have to land some sick shots to actually make this doable. Hiding in the smoke is Tess. I think he hasn't been spotted out. Oh, there we go. Now he is. Now Acor just stuck in upper. As to the defuse for Endpoint and the round win, I'd say. Yes, the round win as well. 18-15. And all they need right now is just one measly round on the T side. But as I said, you know, on the T side, they haven't been looking that great on that terrorist side. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like on the terrorist side, Endpoint has been struggling as much as Squared to some extent. So we could actually even see a scenario where Squared actually wins 3 rounds on the CT side in a row themselves. You're just gonna have to wait and see, I suppose. As the team switch will happen in about 20-ish seconds or so. Squared has been somewhat decent, I'd say, in the best of 3. Right now they're kind of struggling on the T side, and not necessarily because of the stand-in thing, because the stand-in's doing a pretty decent job with fragging. It's just that Acor, he's been able to open up pretty much every single round so far for Squared. And once he doesn't get an opening, that's where things do get tricky. Right, Endpoint. All they need right now is that one single round. Can they actually get it? They're gonna have to wait and see, because Squared, they themselves have decided to go for a double op setup, and I honestly don't blame them. It has been very successful for the guys at Endpoint. I don't see a reason why it couldn't be as successful for the guys at Squared. So far, not much is really happening. Just a lot of utility being expended by the guys at Endpoint. They do have control of this area. Thomas, while he's blinded, but still killed Percy somehow. And now it does look like the push will just commence here from Endpoint. They got the initial frag, they got the second one as well. Thomas is making it happen. Acor now, that's the one player you have to get rid of if you are Endpoint. Acor can be quite a thorn in your side. Acor getting a second kill. Hasta will get rid of one, down to a 2-on-2, and it's still anyone's game at this point. Lassa anticipates Hasta to maybe go up the train, but he's not going to be seeing him as of yet. Robin doesn't have a smoke grenade to block off the vision of Acor, so he might just consider just going for the dry on peak. Gets the kill on Acor. Now it's all up to Hasta, and he's not going to get it done. It will be a victory here for Endpoint, as I think some Some people were definitely anticipating them to actually come out on top in the best of three, and they sure did. As Squared are here to pretty much replace the team kick. And honestly, they didn't do that bad of a job. Obviously, congrats to the victors, Endpoint, and we're going to be able to see them more here at the Thunderpick Invitational. But for now, goodbyes from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the broadcast. If you want to actually take a look at my social media, that's going to be at !caster in Twitch chat. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I do hope to see you all next time.